Good evening and welcome to the Slate Call Shop. I'm Aeson Knight. Of course, I'm with my cubby with Moses, Techie Joe. How are you, darling?
I'm doing well. How are you this evening?
Thumping. Thumping, thumping, thumping. It has been a busy ass day. I dragged my happy little husband down to the CLS and we redone the walls and cleaned the tables and put up some walls.
It's been a long
Yes,
day.
it has been a
Hey,
long day.
Brenda.
Hello, Miss Brenda. How are you? But no, we are ready for Saturday.
Yes.
Well, as much as we can be. Let me clarify that. As much as we can be. It's been a bit. I don't know. It's been, what, 4 years since I had an office?
About that, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
about that.
I don't know. So be looking for some lives. I don't know. Should I try the TikTok live? Should I do the Facebooky live? Should I do the YouTube live from the office? That also means that Mountain Beers gets moved back to Friday. I think we just may leave it on Friday. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can definitely. I mean, I personally would think maybe the Facebook lives because you get a fair number of Facebook followers.
I do.
And we know they're semi-local.
Right.
Like they tend more local.
Right. Or who knows?
Probably.
I may just do a live, a live, a live, a live.
Yes, that's an option. That's an option.
Right.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
So I apparently have to research something after the show because this is going to drive me crazy. I think one of our near neighbors has a very overpowered Bluetooth device.
Okay.
And it just sits here and keeps pinging me relentlessly.
Oh.
Do you want to connect? Do you want to connect? Do you want to connect? And it's
What's
like,
the what's the Bluetooth device? I'm just interested.
I've seen this happen a couple of times, so I've already looked it up. It's apparently like a Bluetooth speaker light.
Oh.
Yeah. It's I think it's Beyond Bright or Bright Sound or something is the thing that pops up. But it just keeps popping up. And I'm like, stop.
Uh-huh.
It's like, could y'all just keep this connected to a device?
Yeah. Because I know mine, my radio headset, which is what I'm using now, it will connect up to 3.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, for most of them, they're normally not this aggressive.
Uh-huh.
Like most devices, it's kind of like, not a big deal, but this one is being really aggressive. Like it just doesn't take no for an answer.
Right.
So I'll have to look into that. Like, how do I just disable? Like, it's
Right.
never come up before. I've never been like, you know what, I hate this device. Because it's not like we don't have Bluetooth devices that are a little close to us. That like, and even within the own house,
Yeah.
that occasionally pop up, but it's normally not, the devices are not this, aggressive or trying so hard. And so like, but
Yeah.
this is getting hard.
Well, there's been something hitting my Bluetooth or my devices, and I haven't figured out what it is. So that may
I
be it.
think it's probably the same one.
Mm-hmm.
This seems really overpowered. Like it's
Right.
not keeping within the couple of meters,
Mm-hmm.
which is usually about your Bluetooth limit. I
Yep.
mean, not that it can't go further, but typically when it's trying to connect, it's trying to do that to devices within a couple of meters.
Right.
So, I mean, unless someone's outside a window,
Mm-hmm.
it shouldn't be happening.
Mm-hmm.
So,
They just want to know what you're listening to because they hear my thumping music and think it's you.
And it's like, it's not me. It's really not me.
No, it's not you. Although I have been creating some music. I need to share that a lot of that with the Patreon group. I haven't been it. I'm sorry. I'll get it in there. I'm getting used to being able to do that now because we added the Dissy chords.
We did add the Dissy chord.
Mm-hmm.
The Dissy chord.
Yes, the Dissy chord. So
yes.
So that was my day. You know, I finished work, got showered, got in the car, drove to Charleston, set the office up, cleaned the office. You know, because we're in a different building. If you guys have seen me before at Crystal Lotus, we're down the street by the coffee shop.
Is there a coffee? Wait, where's the coffee shop? What?
Yeah. She is right next door to Cole's Coffee.
You made me stop for coffee?
Yes.
Twice today. You made me stop for coffee. And you were driving, we were ultimately going to be right next door to the coffee shop?
Yes.
What is wrong with you?
Honey, you understand? Better coffee. Yes, I could have had better coffee. I'm trying not to go there.
You'd like to go to the shop and make a profit?
Exactly. You know, I will get their rewards card and I will get my free coffees within a day if I start allowing myself to do that.
Oh, possibly. Yeah. It would be funny though if the buildings are really like, because if you like, it's already a combined 3-building unit. What's knocking out a few more brick?
Brick, honey, that's wood. That's a wood building.
What?
Yeah, that's a wood building with brick veneer.
Okay.
You didn't see that? Oh, baby. I knew that immensely.
Alrighty. No, I hadn't caught that.
Okay.
So yeah. But anyway. Yeah.
All right. Let me see what else has been fun. I have a treat for myself in the refrigerator for after this. All right. So of course, Aeson's gluten-free now. So Aeson has been in the Reddits and all this.
Hey, we're parking on the back side now. Like I will say, when you visit the new shop, just go ahead and park in the plaza parking, and skip driving down Old Main. Because that's the end of Old Main that it's just gonna be full.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an absolute miracle if you find a space on Old Main that far down. I always called it the give up zone.
Yeah.
Is like, just give up. Just keep going. There's no point. But I mean, because if there is one, be kind. Let people who need the access have the access.
Mm-hmm.
Because those spots are really hard, really rare to open up.
Very much so. A lot of the city parking up in there gets used by the city.
Mm-hmm.
Weird, not weirdly, but that how that is.
Yeah. So, but no, there's plenty of parking. It's I mean, and you don't have to do that weird uphill trug. Out of the parking, because if you've ever been there, you would act for the old shop, not the new shop. Don't do this for the new shop. For the old shop, you would have to go to the middle of the block, like through the parking lot to the middle of the block, up the giant brick sidewalk, and trudge up there, past the really creepy public bathroom that I don't know if that's still open or not, but it's still creepy. It's still creepy.
It is. That's left over from the army days. That's so weird, but it is.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, there used to be tons of those all over the place, and then most places knocked them down. It's a weird little relic. But I'll tell you what, at, nearing midnight, walking past that thing, it's creepy. It's just creepy. There's nothing else to call it.
Right.
It will freak you out every time. Like, this is where the monster comes out at. Yeah. That's what it feels like every time.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, so you don't have that weird trudge.
Right.
It's actually a pretty decent, like it's an incline, but it's not as sharp
Right.
because Old Main kind of doesn't slope down.
Mm-hmm.
And so by the time because this is on the Social Security end of Old Main, where Old Main
Right.
dead ends at the Social Security building.
Mm-hmm.
So you literally go like between Old Main and the police station, that part of the parking lot, go up the little sidewalk. It's a baby incline.
Right.
Like it's like, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure that part would meet ADA guidelines for a wheelchair.
Right.
The downside right now is the shop is not fully accessible.
Yeah.
And like everyone hates that. Like
Right.
it's like I was gonna say, I hate that. It's not just me. Everyone's like,
uh-huh.
Like they're working on it.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, where and this happens. Oh, this happens so often. Businesses like this, we gentrify it more often. We take over buildings and we build them up, and then all of a sudden, we have to move. The building gets sold out from underneath us, and it's like, oh, let's rebuild the building, another building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and for historic districts, that is kind of your norm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish it were the exception, but a lot of businesses just went, we're inaccessible. That's okay.
Right.
And just sucks for you. We're not accessible. And so when you're dealing with literally a street called Old Main.
Mm-hmm.
And historical districts, older buildings, older storefronts, they're not accessible. You have to make them accessible. And it takes time.
Right.
Especially when you're reopening a shop and there's all the other things.
Right.
It's not the easy starter item.
No.
But this should go better over time because there actually is already one door that it technically is accessible.
Yes.
Like as in the frontage is accessible.
Right.
The door it currently leads to, like, don't even try.
No.
Because the layout of the building, it's not going to work out.
Right.
But yeah, it will get there. It should get there in a decent time frame.
Right. It's probably going to take us 6 months to a year.
I think that was one of the things I really have to say. I think that's one of the things that hit Shauna kind of hard. Not the hardest, but I think it's hit her hard that, like, she left a fully accessible building.
Right.
Like, everything was ramped. Everything was on level. There was accessible parking right there, like marked accessible parking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she had all the things.
Right.
So Crystal Lotus, I know, is kind of on that one.
But we'll get it back. We'll get it all back.
Yeah. It'll get there. But it does suck that a lot of businesses just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, because this isn't the first business that's been in there in the last 50 years.
No, but you can tell it's been the one that's been the most proficient at getting in there.
Yes.
But yeah, so we got set up. We got my display area because I'm doing something a little different. I'm actually in the window.
It's Aeson in a box.
Yeah, in a glass box. You can see me doing the reading. The client will have their back to you. It'll be wonderful. We're having to do things like order business cards because apparently I went through 5,000 of them in 7 years. And signage and all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
you fought Shauna and I and lost on the stripper pole.
I did not ask for a stripper pole, asked for strobe lights, and I got told no on that.
Oh, I know, right?
And So there's that. That's been a number one. You can now go ahead and book straight on my site for live appointments. I will be getting them onto the CLS site hopefully tonight.
Okay. Speaking of strobing, I think we should take a moment and also mention if you've been trying to book appointments with Aeson and had been struggling because the appointment booking section was strobing. That issue has been resolved.
Yes.
We had not caught that. We had not seen that. And then all of a sudden, I think it was an update to something made the box just a hair smaller. And so the embed that is his booking was doing wild things.
Right.
On literally every page.
Every page.
So that's been fixed. It now goes directly to the actual booking site instead of trying to embed it in.
Right.
So yeah.
No. So that's been done. We found out I could be remote. Like we tested that today. I am remote everywhere, so I won't be disconnected. You just will be getting me in the shop, in my office. We're going to have a little a candle system so they know if I'm on a call or not.
Hey, but if you do a video call.
Well, I'm going to be doing lives there so I can do the videos too.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You can take video calls. And so then you do get the Aeson in a box experience.
Yes.
Like you can just watch people walk up and down Old Main.
Yeah. Well, no.
Oh, you're going to rotate away? Okay.
Yeah, the camera would be here. They're going to see that beautiful tapestry she got for me of like my fucking perfect office.
That's not nearly as much fun as having the NBC World on, or a window on New York.
I know, right?
A window on St. Albans.
Yeah, well, we can make it. That would be nice. So that'll be fun. But no, I will be there 12 o'clock Saturday till 7 p.m. Saturday. So we're going to shuffle, and Brenda's about ready to get an IM and give me her vote on something.
Oh, fun. Oh, fun.
Yes. It says, I find her. I have yapped all day today with people. It has been so much interesting. Take Aeson out of the office and he starts talking.
Brenda says, dill pickle. That's her answer to all questions. It's a dill pickle.
There you go.
All right, there you go. So yeah, and when we run dill pickle for president in 2028, I will tell you now, I know who will vote for dill pickle. It will be Brenda.
See, I'm hoping 2028 brings me so much things.
Well, yes, that would be great. But if we ran a candidate named Dill Pickle, Dill Pickle would win.
Right.
All right.
But anyhow.
So you got your treat. We've done the shop.
Oh, my treat, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm in this Reddit group for everything gluten-free. Now, modest Miss Karen, because there's always one in a Reddit group that is like, that really isn't, and you're like,
I'm sorry, that woman is not eligible to be called Karen because I've already named her the gluten-free barefoot Contessa.
Yes.
Because it's that level of just like, you haven't been a normal person in a while.
Yeah.
Like you have totally stepped away from like mainstream living. Like this woman has to live like in Martha's Vineyard or some weirdo place where she just has all these things
Yeah.
You know, like where she can just grow her own food and process it herself. And, you know, she just does everything from scratch and, you know, has a whole gluten-free kitchen to herself. You know, refuses to let anyone step foot in it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, like it's the insanity levels with it. I
Right.
mean, like I understand it's really important, and that for some you really do have to go to some extremes,
Right.
but she really takes it to heart.
Yes, she's admitted she grinds her own wheat, her own flour out of rice and lentil, and I don't know. She uses like 3 other different. She's got a whole.
And she makes her own baking mix, and you know, oh my
Uh-huh.
God, you're going to eat at a fast food restaurant. Are you trying to kill them?
Yeah. So
Like you
anyhow,
need to pack a week's worth. Like this is that woman. We've
yeah.
talked about her on the show. You need to pack. Like the kid was going on the trip for a week,
Uh-huh.
and it's like you need to pack an entire cooler of food for the week.
Mm-hmm. How dare you? But anyhow, so we will exclude her opinion to the left. But anyway, they're always posting when they find stuff, you know. So today, on the way home, of course, we grabbed dinner because we need to eat. You know, some weird humanical, human existential thing.
Yeah. Well, we decided to also veer off the beaten trail because the beaten
Right.
trail is small, and after 5 trips in 2 weeks to the same restaurant, I'm done.
I'm ready to
So
put you to work there at this point. But anyhow,
yeah,
so they have been raving that Applebee's has a gluten sensitive options and how delicious the ribs are now if they're gluten sensitive and they can have the ribs.
yes,
So Aeson goes down, he is set. He wants ribs and fries and a salad. This is what he wants. This is what he's wanted for days. He even has a gesture in world that says, I want my baby back ribs.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Was going to
Been
tease
all
one of my friends by snapping a picture and sending it to her cell phone to let her know that we've baby back ribs. Yeah. Get there. They have no ribs.
Yeah.
I was like, how can you be out of one of the biggest items on your menus? Sorry, we don't have any.
It's not just the biggest item on their menu. It is literally one of the differentiators for Applebee's.
Yeah.
It's their thing.
Yeah.
Like y'all have made so much money off of advertising your ribs.
Yeah.
For so long.
Mm-hmm.
To walk into an Applebee's and get told, yeah, we're out of ribs. How?
Right.
How?
Like, go down to Curtis's cross street, go get some fucking ribs and cook them. Anyhow, not my point.
You know? Like, get on that.
Exactly. So I'm aggravated, and I remember seeing this Firestone in the mall behind Applebee's, and I'm like,
No, Firehouse.
Firehouse.
Yeah, Firehouse.
All right. So this is a Reddit, and we've run into this so many times. It will be available. It'll be available at corporate locations. It'll be available in 40 fucking different locations all over the world.
Yeah, but not ours.
But not ours.
Yeah, not ours.
Yeah.
It doesn't like, and it gets really disappointing. It really truly does. Because there have been places we've tried to specifically drive to, and it's like, yeah, we don't have that. Yeah. We're not a corporate store. We aren't this. We aren't that. I ain't never heard that before. What do you mean gluten free? Like how you know, like that's kind of how Subway took it.
Oh yeah,
like a gluten free bread
and cookie. You have neither.
Yeah, our local Pizza Hut laughed hysterically, or was it Domino's?
No, they have it, but they
Yeah,
don't have this separate oven. They won't separate it. It gets baked, and I'm like,
yeah.
so
It's just
what's the
gonna go
fucking
right
point?
down the conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was not hopeful at the point when Applebee's failed me.
Yeah. No.
So I was like, let's take me over here.
Yeah. Let's
If
get
they've
it.
got it, I'm buying it for my dinner.
Yes.
I actually have a gluten-free sub in the refrigerator for after the show at 5:01 waiting for me. I will tell you how I like it on Friday.
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah, so you got that, but you were also saying,
yeah,
like they seemed totally prepped for this. Like
they were like
through
prep.
training, they knew what they were doing.
Yep, they wasn't running any bread through the conveyor. They put it on foil. They have their own little bread heating steamer thing that was really cool. It's all sealed up in a perfect little package. They wipe the table down. They cover their surface. They get fresh vegetables. Like they don't have a separate kitchen, but they done everything I do here to make the kitchen work.
Mm-hmm. But I will say, going back to Applebee's real quick, the funniest thing in the world.
Mm-hmm.
They technically only have one salad on the menu
Mm-hmm.
that is marked gluten sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Because they put fucking croutons in all the other salads.
Mm-hmm.
But you can ask them to not do that.
Right.
But no one thought to mark any of these salads correctly.
Right.
That killed me.
Yeah.
Is like, it's totally like they have all the other things on the menu that, like, well, you can ask for, the substitution. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, don't add the croutons. No one thought for the salad. Like, really?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, guys.
Yes. Come on. Get it together.
Yes.
Sorry. I'm bringing up the site
Mm-hmm.
that I go to get my recommendations on how to make my food eatable.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and we did find out, like, the chips are gluten-free. The spinach and avocado dip is not.
Is not.
But the salsa that comes with the chips is. So, yeah, he got to actually, like, we got to do chips and dip today. It was,
Yeah.
It's a thing because the number of restaurants that are like, would you like some gluten and dip?
Right. It's called glutenfreedad.org is the site I use whenever I'm having to figure out what can I eat on the menu.
Yes.
Yes. And he
Especially
covers like all of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I will say, Cracker Barrel, do not ask them for their gluten-free menu. That is the worst moment. They don't bring you a menu. It's not a menu.
Right.
It cracked me up so bad. It is a food service manual.
Uh-huh.
And it just has a list of all their products and then a column for each sensitivity.
Right.
And it's like, oh my God. It is a laminated, spiral bound Excel sheet.
Exactly.
And it is tiny print.
Yeah.
So good luck if you are visually deficient in any way.
Exactly.
You are never reading to find out.
Just go to glutenfreedad.org and look, because he will tell you what you can order at all these restaurants. But and this has been my thing with Cracker Barrel. Oh, yeah. They update their menus often. Gluten-Free Dad hadn't gotten their update, but every one of their salads you can't modify. They don't just serve a salad, like it's pre-mixed with croutons. I'm like,
well, or it's just one big bowl that they're serving out of,
right?
Like and they pre-mix it and it's already done,
right?
Just scoop and go,
right?
But then again, even if you did, you only have one option there, which is the grilled chicken.
Right.
Like, even if you could control what's in the salad,
Mm-hmm.
you're still getting the grilled chicken. But no, that's a restaurant that's just hard across the board to find like anything that's gluten free.
Yeah.
And it's the nature of the beast. I understand. Like you're country cooking, like biscuits and gravy, and the country fried steak and the country fried chicken, and everything's breaded to hell and back.
Right.
I get it. It's your shtick. But for one of the more popular travel restaurants, and considering the uptick in the number of people who are gluten sensitive, Cracker Barrel, you need to get on this.
Well, the best experience I have is Bob Evans.
Yeah, Bob Evans, the weirdest one that gets it. Like, they have a cute little granted, it could be laminated, but still, they have a pre-printed, like, your gluten-free options only. So you're not searching through the menu for icons.
Yes.
Because that's the other thing everyone wants to do anymore is let's put an icon on the menu. Right. Now I'm wading through the sea of icons for okay, this is spicy, this is gluten sensitive or gluten free or whatever. It's just all these little icons. It's like I feel like I have started my car and every idiot light remained on.
Right. And these are not, and none of them are using the official gluten icon. Like the G code.
No. Yeah, they don't want to pay for that. They don't want to pay for that. They don't want to pay to have their food certified.
Right.
Like, and I don't even know if they can do that on a restaurant level versus a product level.
Yes, they can.
Can they? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There's a restaurant I want to check out.
Hey, Blue.
Blue is in here eating marshmallows, and we will serve her Coke because she does not drink coffee. She loves the smell of the coffee shop, but she ain't touching it.
Yep. There you go. So yeah, but no, that has been the wildest part of the gluten-free experience.
Right.
Is trying to wade through menus, getting handed service manuals. And it's like, what?
Right.
What are y'all doing? Like, why is this so hard? Like, and again, Bob Evans did it the easiest, most straightforward, easy to read. Like, just put all your options together. They're on one page.
Right.
I mean, it's not a ton of options, but they're pretty decent options.
Right.
Like, someone thought this through and went, someone who's having to be gluten or that is having to avoid gluten may want more than one or two options in every category.
Yes.
So what could we do?
Right.
To make our menu a little more like what it looks like. It looks like they really put thought into their menu.
Right.
And the fact that, okay, we're not just listing the gluten-free items or the gluten-sensitive items. We actually thought it through, and like I assume made some changes along the way to make it a bigger menu than it probably originally was.
Well, not like that, but it's like, okay, it'll say literally like the All-American is like remove bun, omit ketchup. They even caught the hidden glutens in like ketchup.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, okay, cool. This is like I'm not a Bob Evans boy. I worked for the corporate level Bob Evans. So I was really burnt out on Bob Evans for a very long time. But I'm about ready to start saying, find me a Bob Evans.
Yeah. No, the Bob Evans, like that has worked out well. And again, that's another restaurant that you more so associate with like deep fried biscuits and mac and cheese and like all your glutens.
Right.
Like they're very much a country kitchen like restaurant. Like that's kind of what they do. Right. So yeah, for them to be the one that's like, here's your most ample menu of any restaurant.
Right.
The date that we have dealt with.
Mm-hmm.
That isn't just listing like, look, all of our sauces are gluten-free, and here's all of our sodas.
Right.
No shit. If Dr. Pepper gets gluten in it, I think we'll know.
You got to watch that. There was a discussion going on in this. There are a few sodas. The ginger ale that I love, the
oh
not
no,
Canadian Dry. The other one, the one that I can't get that often, the Vernors, Schweppes and Vernors, both of them have gluten.
Well, now for you, it is officially the Chihuahua Peepees.
Yes. Hey, Dreamy.
Oh yeah, Brenda's all about some burners.
Yep. All right, so we're gonna do it. This isn't working. We're switching back to Tuesday and Fridays, back to our old times. And when we have to cancel a Friday show, we cancel a Friday show. Per the head barista, Brenda, she voted. It's done.
All right, there we go. So yeah.
So there's that. Now it's so weird. When we picked when I would return to CLS for live readings, I didn't construct or consult my astrological calendar. I probably shouldn't, but I've done well. I've done really well. This is where Psychic gets it right.
Okay, can I reiterate again for everyone in the back? I have a running theory that astrology people don't read their own shit.
Right.
Y'all will do it all day long. You will run birth charts and transits, and you'll do all the shit. The horoscopes, you will sit there and you will read it to clients. None of it registers for y'all.
No.
And then when you got to do something, you never run it for yourselves. And then you just be walking around out here like, I don't know, it's like Mercury's in retrograde or some shit.
Well, yes, Mercury is in retrograde. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like, it's much of a surprise. Like, every time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is after multiple astrology people.
Right.
I only know one, and she's not even professional, but one person into astrology that is like, own it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is, I'm sure she sat down at the beginning of the year with her planner and put every event in it.
Probably.
And then she just sends me stuff and is like, ooh, watch out tomorrow. What?
So anyhow, I'm reading my astrology updates that I read all the time. Every morning. Astrology Cafe sends me this lovely, these planets are moving, this moon is going void, of course, this, and then I'm like fitting my day around it. So I'm scrolling through my Facebook. Yes, Facebook, we know you're listening. Can you work on understanding that I am not looking for a tractor? I don't know where they got the idea of that. And it pops up. March 29th, solar eclipse. And I was like, really? Aeson is reopening on a solar eclipse.
Yes, on March 29th it appears.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, solar eclipse. Oh, really? They went that far with this? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, apparently this eclipse will take place between 4:50 a.m. and 8:43 a.m. Eastern Time. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's apparently visible to 800 million people in the northeastern states of the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. They don't list us specifically, though.
We go with Pennsylvania. We're on that same access line.
Well, yeah, they're all pretty close together. Like the whole range is 6:13 a.m. at the earliest, and it looks like 7:17 a.m. at the latest.
Right.
So, yeah.
But I will remind you, do not look directly at the sun during an eclipse. Please do not do that.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Do not use your iPhone to look at the sun during the eclipse. It will damage it.
So, yeah. Oh, fun. Fun.
Yes.
Brenda, read my own chart? What?
When do I have time to read that fucking book that I create? There's a reason it's just as expensive as it is.
Even he says it's too much.
It is.
It's a book. It's a book.
It's a book. Like, if we go back, now, I prefer to do them digitally for the planet.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go back to providing the hard one.
And there she is. When I said, I'm sure she plots it out on her calendar at like the beginning of the year and knows everything that's going to happen, there she is.
Right. So I thought we would talk about how this is going to hit the charts. Now, understanding we're going with solar signs, not your rising, not your moon, but you can gleam through there. All right. So Aries, my home planet, my home vibration. Think about the last time you sacrificed your well-being for a work project or your peace of mind for something significant. March's lunar eclipse in Virgo, which is also my moon, is here to help you release bad habits that affect your health and work-life balance. Ooh, Google, get the pen ready. We may need that. However, the solar eclipse in your sign is your time to shine. Personal transformations are on the horizon, and you will have confidence to set new, bold, intense, interesting. I'm reopening my shop, reflecting on what has become the best version of yourself looks like. Star-studded. Anyhow, why don't you take Taurus?
Where are you?
Link in private.
Sorry, I didn't see the link. My bad. All right, bring it up to Taurus. All right, so getting there. All right, so your heart's desires and healing processes are under the spotlight this season, Taurus. For starters, the lunar eclipse in Virgo highlights everything from your idea of emotional fulfillment to your self-expression. It may be time to reassess a creative project you've been putting off or immerse yourself in an exciting rebranding project. The solar eclipse in Aries will bring you inward, urging you to find inner peace and surrender that's been hindering your autonomy and individual freedom. Wait, what? Oh, the lunar eclipse in Virgo, and it's a solar eclipse in Aries. Got it now. Sorry, misread that, guys. Solar eclipse in Aries, the lunar eclipse was in Virgo.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah. So Geminis, the lunar eclipse in Virgo will shake your fourth house of home, bringing up deep-rooted family issues and memories from your early upbringing. It might be time to declutter your living space or have a tough conversation with a loved one. Boot them out. However, the solar eclipse in Aries sparks a desire for personal freedom. Again, boot them out while we maintain a new sense of belonging in the world. Your perception is shifting, but it will start from the inside.
All right, and over to Cancer. Everything from your communication style to your immediate surroundings is highlighted this season, Cancer. The total lunar eclipse in Virgo shines a light on your thoughts, writing projects, and inner circles, as it is an invitation to reflect and reassess the dynamics of your exchanges, whether personally or professionally. Others may consider relocating or moving somewhere close to where you are now. Either way, it could be time to embrace a more authentic way of speaking up. As for the solar eclipse in Aries, your career and public image are in the spotlight. You may be offered new opportunities that challenge you to step up, whether it's a new role or being recognized for your hard work.
Interesting.
It's more work. Oh, not more.
Well, honey, since I'm back on the grounds you are normally into, so yes, it is more work. Leos, hello, my Leos. How are you, my lovely lions? A personal breakthrough on the horizons, Leos. Do you trust yourself enough to venture into the unknown? March total lunar eclipse in Virgo brings clarity around your finances, stability, and self-worth. So you may finally decide to make a game-changing investment in your passions. Others may realize that it's time to ask for help or to get serious about your budget. This is especially fitting with the solar eclipse in Aries, as it stimulates Lee and pushes you to take charge and commit to a journey of self-discovery, whether it's education, travel, or maybe opening a new business.
Yes. So Virgo, this eclipse season is especially personal for you, Virgo.
Yes.
Kicking off with the total lunar eclipse in your sign, expect a significant amount of clarity between now and the next 6 months, as this brings something in your personal life full circle. However, while stepping into this new energy, you're being encouraged to let go of old habits so you can step into this upgrade. This solar eclipse in Aries, on the other hand, brings focus on your intimate affairs and shared resources. Think about making bold decisions in terms of saving or investing.
Libras tend to be in your inner world and reconnecting with your spirits, Libra. This eclipse season brings you a spotlight on your privacy, your healing, your subconscious, and the patterns in life behind the scenes. What are you really ready to release? As a total lunar eclipse touches down in your 12th house, the house of enduring and of spirituality, those old emotions, past traumas that need healing, box them up because it's time to ship them out. Consider the opportunity to leave the past where it belongs, in the past, as the lunar in Aries will shake up your relationship sector and usher in bold and passionate new beginnings and ventures. You may decide to leave behind the toxic friendships or become more serious with a significant other. Either way, starts with yourself.
Yeah, so Scorpio, your commitment and role within a community is reaching its expiration date, Scorpio. Eclipse season kicks off with a total lunar eclipse in Virgo, highlighting everything from your friendship groups and social contributions to your sense of belonging in the world. During this time, you may find yourself letting go of connections that no longer align with your growth or purpose. With the solar eclipse in Aries touching down on your 6th house of health, daily rituals, and wellness routines shortly after, you may take bold steps to improve your habits or find new ways to enhance your professional life.
All right. And then Sagittarians, hello Saggies, my little archers. It's time to ground your goals and dreams into reality. This eclipse will highlight your work-life balance, or lack of it. But this is one thing for sure. It's officially time to get your ducks in a row, the planner filled out. The total lunar eclipse in Virgo will shake up your career sector, illuminating your career reputation and legacy to the world. The moment for you is to access whether your current career path truly reflects your ambitions or to push you to make the necessary adjustments. For the solar eclipse in Aries ushers in a powerful new beginning as it activates your heart center, fifth house of love, passion, and creativity and expression. The new opportunities show your talents might arise, or you may feel inspired to explore new passions. What I find so interesting is I am a super Aries, but I get more reflectiveness from Scorpios.
Sagittarius?
Saggies, yeah.
Okay. So Capricorn, newfound epiphanies, and more importantly, your intuition could be challenging your belief systems, Capricorn. A lunar eclipse in Virgo highlights your ninth house of expansion, philosophy, education, and journey to self-discovery, signaling a full circle moment and the beginning of a brand new era. You could feel a pivotal shift in your worldview or feel called to release an outdated belief. Then the solar eclipse in Aries brings the focus back to your personal life, home, family, and emotional foundation. Expect significant changes and new beginnings, whether it's a move, renovation, or your emotional connections with loved ones.
Aquarians, how are you? My quiet water babies. There is no room to tiptoe or overanalyze, Aquarians. This eclipse season emphasizes everything for your self-worth to your investment in others. Starting to total eclipse in Virgo, lunar will shake up your eighth house of intimate affairs, sharing resources and emotional bonds. This could lead to a breakthrough or the call to release whatever has been holding you back from staying true to your core values. The solar eclipse in Aries, on the other hand, brings focus on your communication style and intimate exchanges. You can engage in a new exhibitional conversation or take on learning a new opportunity to help shift your mindset and predicate.
And Brenda says, did you say I was quiet?
Did he say I was quiet? Nope, you're never quiet, baby. We love hearing you.
All right, so Pisces, the north nodes in your sign, and let's just say your growth will be undeniable, Pisces. Eclipse season is not for the faint of heart, and you're no exception. It begins with a total lunar eclipse in Virgo, igniting your committed seventh house of agreements, compromise, and significant others. During this time, you could feel a shift in your relationship dynamics, possibly even letting go of a partnership that no longer serves you. The solar eclipse in Aries, however, emphasizes your financial stability and self-confidence. You could experience a breakthrough around your values, money-making abilities, or personal possessions. Ultimately, this pushes you to reevaluate how you value yourself and what you bring to the table.
Preferably coffee and cookies. But
we always appreciate cookies.
Yes. Gluten-free, chocolate chip, or the Oreos. Both of them are delicious. All right. So, do you have an Are You the Asshole for me?
I do. Did I not send it over?
No, let me see.
Yes, I did. I did.
Okay. We don't get the mouse thing. All right. So, argue your case while I get the poll set up. This will be interesting to figure out if you're the asshole this week.
All right. Am I the asshole after telling my aunt they can't respect my decisions? Then my kid can't come over anymore. I, 35 female, have an aunt, 53 female, who sometimes picks up daughter, 6 female, for overnights at her place. My daughter recently returned from one of those trips. During so, I got a phone call about my daughter's toes being red and maybe the shoes being too small. My aunt was wanting to throw them out, but I was going to pass them on to my younger niece, 2-year-old female, as my kid hasn't worn those shoes much. My aunt's boyfriend said he was worried I would put them back on her, which I said I wouldn't if they were small, but wanted them back to pass down to my niece. Turns out she decided to go to my mom, 53 female, for permission to pitch the shoes. My mom gave the blessing since she didn't know why I wanted them back. When my daughter was dropped off, my aunt dropped her and her stuff off quickly, then bolted, which was weird for her. As I was emptying my daughter's luggage, I noticed said shoes were not in there. Daughter said that they told her they were keeping the shoes for safekeeping, but I found out the truth shortly after. I tried calling my aunt, but she is not answering. It's not just about the shoes, but this has happened multiple times with other things because my mom said it was okay, and her being my mom negates my decisions for my daughter? Am I the asshole for saying if my decision can't be respected and if my daughter can't return with everything she's brought with her, she can't come over anymore?
Okay. Nope, you're not the asshole. You have a boundary.
I think this is one of those moments that I'm trying to figure out this aunt.
This is that I know better because I'm the aunt. I'm the older person.
Well, but I mean, there's a lot of problems here. Like, first, it's I recognize that maybe you're seeing OP as like waiting too long, or you're not in agreement with, like, because I'm sorry, I do have a problem with a 6-year-old that has like toes that are turning red from shoes that are way too tight,
right?
That are super too small, because you don't get that because they're just a little tight. That's usually what you get after they're like really uncomfortably tight. Like, that should be something the mom's noticing a little faster. Right. So I can understand the aunt's perhaps concern. I'm just trying to figure out what if there's maybe a validity of the concern being escalated.
Right.
Like, to let them, to let OP's mom know. And that ultimately, what I'm concerned with is maybe it's not the aunt who's making the decision exactly, as much as maybe it's OP's mom that's being like, look, sis, throw those out.
Right.
Don't send them back. I'm curious if it's the aunt making the disrespectful decision, or OP's mom making the disrespectful decision, and the aunt gets stuck with the
right.
Either way, yeah, no, it's a disrespect there. I'm just not sure how deep the disrespect goes. I think it's horrible that, like, if this is a recurring pattern, that what's happening with your daughter is not, like, that's not a real tenable position for her.
Right.
Like, if it's this level every time, that's neglect. Like, I hate to tell you, OP, that's kind of neglectful. To be going to this extreme that, like, because again, it's like what OP's talking about with the shoes and the toes being red. That's not just a little tight.
They can be.
I would figure that's at least a solid size and a half.
Right. Which, if you have a young child,
yeah, they grow quick.
Exactly. And especially if it's a female child that's going to have a lot of different shoes, because you get the prissy shoes, you get the play shoes, you get the jelly shoes, you get these shoes, that shoes, because it's a girl, and you're going to make sure she looks all pretty and teach her that purses and shoes and belts and this all have to match. Yeah. And she's not worn them in a while. You don't even think about it. She still fits the clothes, so obviously she would still fit the shoes, but it's like, no.
Well, and it sounds like there's a lot, potentially, a lot of this passing clothes around and trying to help each other out, and like, you're going to save them for the 2-year-old niece.
Right.
And like, I get it. I understand it. It's just one of those moments of like, I'm starting to feel like maybe your family's trying to communicate to you, you're neglecting your child and we don't want your crap.
Well, I think that one, we have three things going on here. One, we have someone who is, I will promise you, spend a lot of money on clothes.
Potentially, yes.
Yeah. And it wasn't paying much attention, and dress shoes especially.
Mm-hmm. Can really change
rub the wrong way. That's why, like, I used to put my heels in the freezer.
Oh, wow.
To get them to reform.
Oh, yeah. After they stretch out to get them.
Yeah. Tighten back up. So that, so if she's not wearing these shoes in a while, maybe it's an outfit she doesn't wear that often. It's Easter season. Maybe this is last year's Easter dress, whatever. That's not neglect. That's just like, oops, the fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Or that type of thing. My problem here is the aunt did not take what was said.
Okay.
As fact.
Yeah. I'm still going to go with, I don't think you're the asshole, so not the asshole is my official vote.
Yes.
I kind of have a problem with this one because I've been in the position of the child.
Right.
And shouldn't have been.
Right.
At an older age, actually, even.
Right.
When like, puberty, like you think they're growing like we
right.
Wait till all those hormones hit. The growths are overnight.
4-year-olds do the same damn thing.
Yeah, they do. They change a lot. Like,
they do.
Early childhood and late childhood, same thing. It's just the explosive growth.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I've been there, and it really sucks, and you don't realize how bad it sucks until you get new shoes. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So, but no, like the problem for me wasn't that the child's shoes were too small. Like, that's a Thursday. The problem with me is the aunt did not return the belonging with the child back to the owner, which is the parent, because children can't own things at that age. So it's the parent's property. She went over her head. That's problem one. Like, well, I don't like your answer, so I'm going to go to your mother.
Well, see, but here's the thing. I struggle with the idea that kids don't own stuff.
I know.
Like, that's a hot button for me too, is like, kids have possessions.
Right.
If anything, they were the 6-year-old shoes.
Right.
Technically, what should happen is they should be returned with her because they are her property. Maybe a very strongly worded aunt/mom conversation that you need to get her new shoes now.
Right.
Or we'll pick some up for her, and you'll get both back. And then move on from there. And it's like, yeah, if you see them again, take them. I mean, like, literally, if you're continuously sending the daughter over with you already know, you've already been told there are other shoes, then yeah, I would jerk them at that point and be like, you're not doing this to this kid.
Right, but this is the first time it happened.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is when it happens as a one-off, like a shirt's too small, pants got outgrown, whatever. That it just happens.
Yeah.
It sucks. Sometimes you get like a little turned around and maybe you put stuff back where you didn't mean to. Like you had to pull that stack, but someone was trying to be helpful and put all of the laundry away. So you get off track there for a minute.
Right.
Sometimes kids just refuse.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how tiny it gets, uncomfortably tiny it gets, like shirts and pants or shorts or whatever, they'll keep trying to wear them. Right. Because it's their favorite. It's got the cool character. It's the brightly colored. It's whatever. It resonates with them. I get that part. I don't know many people that love shoes at that age, love shoes that much that they're just, I'm going to wear them. And it doesn't sound like that's where the kid was. But anyway, not the
But
asshole.
anyway, I'm going with not the asshole. If they can't respect the parent's decision to return the property of the child / parents, then they can't get the child. My other thing here is, and this has happened to me, I've gone and bought clothes, and the next day I'm like, we can't do this.
Oh yeah, there are some issues to be concerned with, like maybe she has an allergy.
Yeah.
The shoes are fine, the feet are swelling.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was a hot day and the flats start rubbing. Promise you, y'all guys think tennis shoes stink and get stinky. Flats or dress shoes in general.
Yeah, it's dead animal leather. It's dead animal skin. It's not always going to smell the best, especially when you consider what the things you do to that dead animal skin to make leather.
Right, but there's no place for the sweat to go if they're out running around and all that.
Yeah, brand sizes vary as well.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't like the disrespect. I especially don't like the double disrespect of taking OP's mom's word for it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry, your daughter has been out of your control for, let's see, so 18 to 33, 12, 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost a whole, adult again.
Exactly.
Like that's, no, you don't have that authority.
Mm-hmm.
Send them back. That's property. Don't do it again.
Right.
Like, feel free to keep letting her know if you run across things that don't fit or seem too tight, or send them. Now, again, I will say, if you do it once, that's an oopsie. You do it twice. I'm gonna make sure the child has appropriately fitting. And then I'm not saying I'm gonna keep them or throw them out. But we're going to have I'm holding this right now in my hand going, do not do this again.
Right.
I think that would be your how do you compromise this? If you really feel like that OP is irresponsible. Because it sounds like this is what it is. You're not respecting that she's an adult and a responsible one. You can see me doing that? No.
No. Ain't happening. All right, so the poll is up. The options are: yes, you're the asshole for setting boundaries over your child's and yours possessions. No, you're not the asshole. Everyone's shitty here.
It's a dill pickle, says Brenda.
Or it's a dill pickle. Dill pickle means, man, you're not the asshole. The other person maybe, but you're in so deep, you're stuck in the family circle.
Yeah. My biggest thing is I'm going to tell you I'm going to throw it out. You can choose to dig it out of a trash can, but at the point in which I'm telling you I'm throwing it out, it's not up for negotiation. It usually means this is so far beyond. Like, now, if I break it or whatever, I'm definitely going to tell you I broke it. It's now garbage. Like, it's unrepairable, and hopefully has no sentimental value. Because that occasionally happens. For everyone, it happens.
Right.
But in general, at the point in which I'm throwing this out, it's not negotiable. There is no way you're going to convince me to keep it.
Right, but
also
we have two different personalities in us.
Oh yeah.
My personality is out the door with it. Get rid of it. I want the least amount. Like, I own too much stuff right now. My inventory is too big.
Yes. And actually, it's kind of useful for Aeson if someone really would just go thin his stuff.
Yes.
And be like, you can't keep this.
Yeah.
When have you ever touched it?
Yeah.
There is a 1-inch layer thick dust ring around it.
Right.
When are you enjoying this?
Exactly. And that is my motto on a lot of things. I keep a few sentimental things, but like I'll go through and start throwing stuff away that's mine, and he'll look at me and go, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Too much. Time to go." However,
yeah. I would. Now that's worth pointing out. I am the one that will sometimes reel you back and go, "Whoa, Marie Kondo, hold on, before you get rid of all this stuff." What are you doing and why? And are you okay right now? Because I'm also a big proponent of people not feeling like they have to get rid of something. When it's not actually something they want to do, it's something they feel like they have to do.
Right.
Like, no, we'll find space for most things. We'll figure it out.
Right.
Don't go hoarder on me. Please don't go hoarder on me. Yeah. Like, it's cute. He'll put ketchup packets all in the refrigerator, and it's like, no.
You leave my Taco Bell sauce alone.
No, I will not. Nope. No.
And my Bronco Berry, like this is the thing is Arby's, I'm having withdrawal from Arby's because Bronco Berry sauce is a key ingredient to my pork loin. Yeah, I drive him crazy because I have like a recipe that literally says 4 packs of Bronco Berry sauce, 2 packs of Taco Bell sauce, 1 pack of Chinese soy sauce.
Yeah. And you have this thing where you take home and just keep piling up and accumulating.
Yes.
Little sauce packets in the door of the fridge to the point that they spew over every time you touch the refrigerator door. At which point I mass destroy. Now, if you put them in a Ziploc bag and they do not sit here for over a month, I will let you keep them. But at 1 month, I will pick up that bag and yoink, right into the trash can it goes.
I am not alone. You have been teasing me forever.
I know alone. You're not alone. It's one of those things that it's like, okay, it's valuable. Probably, like I mentally can accept it is valuable within 30 days. At the point in which it's now like capable of filling a shopping bag. And it does, like, especially if I let you just do it and then I go in when it starts falling. It's usually a shopping bag's worth because I grab a grocery bag.
But A, this is when we're eating out too much.
And throw it in. Yeah.
And B, this is like, we need to start looking at things. But C, those packets are good for at least 6 months in the refrigerator.
I don't know that that's true of all of them. Like the ranches, you get a week on. Salad dressings, you get a week.
Oh, you're not talking the sealed packets.
The hell I'm talking about this little sealed packets. Not the bottles. Bottles I know are fine, but the little sealed packets that I don't know how they've been kept or how long they were in the bag or set on the table or whatever. No, those you get a week. And then I'm like, because especially for you, most of your dressings are like dairy base. So like ranch and blue cheese. And I'm like, I don't play with that one. That'll make you real sick.
Right.
All right. So Blue's saying the packets last longer.
Right.
Okay. I don't know. I just get weirded out with some things.
Right.
Like, especially when they're originally things that I know are like fridge stored or cold store. And then they've gone through that whole transition.
Wow.
Back in a fridge.
You're not going to like this answer.
Oh, no.
Ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce typically lasts on a shelf life of around a year for optimum flavor. Mustard, taco sauce, Parmesan cheese, those last 1 to 2 years. Hot sauce, 3 to 4 years. Vinaigrettes, 4 years. Honey, salt, sugar, these condiments can last indefinitely. Jams, jellies, up to 3 years. Relish and salad dressing, up to a year. Soy sauce, up to 2 years. Oil, 2 years. Tartar sauce, 1 year.
Fine, date them. I want to see you with the Sharpie in that kitchen, putting the date, all month, day, and year,
right,
on every single packet.
Okay. Yeah. They're saying most shelf life for like Hunt's ketchup packets, which I don't use, it's got too much sugar in it, is 270 days. Or just shy of 9 months. Now, granted, I've never let them last that long because I will use them and we're not talking like ketchup. We're talking the things like Bronco berry sauce, taco sauce, the Japanese mustards, the things I can't get my fingers on.
Oh, Blue is so adorable. She points out that they have dates on them. Microscopic ones.
No,
I'm not even trying that.
Okay.
Yeah, so, it's tiny. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, it's a packet that's like this big. Of course, the date imprint is like, hold on, let me break out the electron microscope so I can see each dot of ink. Like, no, I'm not doing all that.
Right.
I'm not doing all that. Like, you with a Sharpie go through and make it like, decent sized lettering, I'll allow it.
I think it was yesterday I started debating on whether I should buy a fucking not a microscope, a magnifying glass for the back of recipe containers. And I'm like, damn, I'm getting old. All right, so why the poll is up? Let's switch over and talk about psychic. Let's take the thing in psychic.
Yes, our psychic. Why can't psychics clearly hear names? Recently had a reading. She proceeded to tell me she doesn't hear names, so struggles with that. Told me she had a mother and grandmother, both my mom, her mom, and dad's mom are in spirit. The letters didn't really correspond. She claimed to have all the gifts a psychic medium, spiritual, clairvoyant, clairaudient could have. LOL. Anyway, she went on to give an incredibly elaborate reading full of predictions, most of which I didn't want to hear, regarding my relatively happy marriage failing. Anywho, how is it she could recite perfectly what Spirit was telling her, down to the months, time of year to expect these things, but couldn't give me a clear name of anyone? She also told me my mom was set on the coffin at her funeral. She had a direct cremation and a celebration of life. No coffin, no funeral. Was I scammed? I hope so.
It's a possibility. This is what it sounds to me like you just sit down and said, I don't know, tell me what you see. And she just fucking went through the book. But there's 2 points I want to talk about. One is names. There's a problem with spirit and names, and here's the problem. The name only has value for this life. But you may choose not to like that name, and you want to go with your other name. And you wouldn't resonate, that energy wouldn't resonate anymore with the original name.
Well, I would figure it also have a little more to do with the fact that, like you've described it in the past, as like when you see events for prediction, which I think would be more where you're at than mediumship necessarily.
Right.
That when you're seeing events for prediction, it's like watching a video, like scrubbing through a video at high speed.
Right.
Like you're getting images and a sensation of time flow.
Right.
And season change and things like that, and some indicators there. Feeling wise, like it's cold or it's hot, or
Right.
you're wearing a heavy coat, you're in a bikini, whatever. You're getting a range of information, but it's really high speed. So it's like going through, like, if anyone's parents, you got to be a certain age to get this one. If anyone's parents used to like take the camcorder tape, shove it in there, and set it to extended recording time, so it's like 8 hours long now. And then, like, it's like 10 minutes of this and 30 minutes of that and 20 minutes of this, and it's sort of like scrubbing through that whole video, that 8 hours, in a few minutes.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do this display. I don't know. Let me find something a little longer, because this is only like 2 minutes. Give me a moment, guys. I got to find a video of mine so we don't get a copyright strike, and B, set it up for you. I'll show you what it's like when you pop in and go, so tell me what you see. Which, by the way, that is my most annoying question. I'd rather you ask, does he love me?
Yeah. Well, and I think that's part of it, as well as also discussing like the different clairs: clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, clair, all the clairs. Is like, it doesn't mean that when you're, even if you have all the clairs, right? If I'm wrong, but even if you have all the clairs, it doesn't mean they necessarily all work in conjunction at the same time for every reading. It's probably going to be one, maybe two.
Right.
And the two's a stretch. Like, that's usually going to be a major warning. That's like, we're going to throw everything, the pots, the pans, the just whatever we can.
Right.
Like, to please, for the love of God, get the message.
Right.
But for most general things, like, oh well, your happy marriage is about to blow up in your face.
Right.
That's a little more mundane, sadly, but truthfully, that's a little more mundane. It's like, yeah, you'll either listen or you'll learn. Like,
right.
It's horrible to say it that way. I know, like, it's a very traumatic thing, if that's what occurs, and apparently will occur. But in terms of readings, it's kind of mundane. It's Tuesday.
Right. All right. So this is a simulation of what I'm seeing during a question. The moment I realized my intros are too long.
Well, I figured you'd just be running it through. Yeah. And then it's basically just imagine this, glitching through multiple potential event moments.
Right.
Because it's not going to be like one very extended event. It's going to be all the
yeah.
You catch him cheating, you get slapped with the divorce papers, you have to fight for child custody, you have to find your own apartment, all of that gets crammed in, and it's just like,
right. And then when it's about names, it's like listening to this.
Switched over to the Australian schedule, kind of enjoying it. I'm doing more morning Australian, so that gives me a little bit extra time. Don't have to balance hours. We've had some really good shows that require research. We've done a few on second news. So finally hit 9.
I think you need a faster speed even.
I did. The highest it'll let me go is 2.
Yeah, you need like a 16x from what you've said.
Right.
It would literally be just drag the little bar across and just.
Well, let me see if that works.
Okay. I mean, again, it's how you've described it, and it's like, I've had that moment when editing video before, where it's like, yeah, I wouldn't get anything from that.
Right.
Who would get, like, you know what I mean? Like, you get an idea, like, oh, it's a baseball game, or it's a this. Like, you know what time of year it is. You see the costume. You get a feel for what happened.
Right. All right, here we go.
This way, combining two websites into one. Now that I can freely run my classes myself without being involved.
Yeah, so it's like the little thumbnail and like the choppiness. Yeah.
It's an actual dish.
Anyway.
Like nobody show up. They just because I'm done. That's not good.
Yeah, this won't do it. You would actually have to open like Premiere Rush or something.
Yeah, and that's going to tank me. But anyhow.
Yeah, because it is a very graphics processor intensive application. And he usually has to shut down everything to run it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's true of most people. Like, that's not like a ding on your system. It's no. It's a one app.
Exactly. So anyway, that's the reason I don't do the style of reading that she's talking about, where you just sit there and you're yapping about shit you don't even care about. Maybe shit that you are picking up wrong. It may not be your marriage, but your marriage may go through a separation. That separation, however, may be a financial separation or this separation, or they may go for work for 2 weeks or go off on a holiday. And she's just zoning in on that one little clip. But the reason you don't get names is normally nobody goes, "Hi, my name is Bethany. I am his third cousin on his mother's side."
And that name is spelled BETHANI. You know what I mean? Like, good luck. You might hear a glitch, I would think. And again, I would think there would also be a little more for like, oh, this is a major warning, and it's, you're looking at a very specific pinpoint.
Right. What I find interesting
will erupt.
Right. Hey, Tosh. But what I find interesting, and this, but this is why people do not give names in readings, or they'll give similar names. And what I mean by that is, and there is a reading style that's like, okay, I got an M here. I'm looking for someone with an M name, Mary, Mike, Mark, or John, an M name. You guys have seen this. This is stage reading style or gallery reading style. And then but if you notice, they never go into, it's Martha, she's a mother, she drove a red car. They'll go on to like, it's a mother energy. So there's mothering there. She drove a red car. She has big pillows. She was probably shorter. She probably had to wear heels a lot. Like, they're getting information. But what you're not getting is there's actually another being. This is what aggravates me, is mediums don't talk about that. There's another being. I gladly talk about David being my entourage, that is talking to that spirit. The guide is the intermediary. So you're playing telephone. When all she wants to say is, I want my damn pack of cigarettes back where they damn belong. How dare you move my cigarettes in my house?
Yeah. Or grandma's teapot or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. All right. So plus spirit won't tell you names. Feels like giving the personal communication with the power of summoning them at any time. Yeah, there's a whole power of name thing that goes on there that can get complicated. And that's another thing, and that's the reason I don't like I like the style of mediumship I do. I don't like the style when it's like, here's the name, the date of birth, just tell me who's around me. Nobody. They've got their own life.
Who would you like to talk to? Like, mediumship is basically a switchboard. Where the fuck are you trying to call? I am an operator, not a,
Right.
Like, this is not a matchmaking service.
Yeah.
This is a connection service. Where do you want me to plug the cable? Attempt.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go check out the poll and find out if you're the asshole this week. And in poll. And you are not the asshole this week. Good job.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do have a question.
Okay.
On the one, do you occasionally run into ones where there actually is someone hanging around? And then I have a follow-up question.
Yes.
Okay, so you've run into the ones where someone is hanging around.
Normally, what has happened is, case in point, male dies, father dies in the home, built the home. Decides he's going to spend his afterlife in a home. So daughter moves into daddy's house. She dies. She hangs out with dad. Daughter moves into daddy's house, to granddaddy's house, and they're still hanging around there.
Ah, okay. Okay, so that's a little different than I was expecting. I like that one I follow, and I think most people would follow it.
Mm-hmm.
I was meaning, like, do you ever run into one where, like, there isn't that kind of, like, obvious connection, but it's just someone lurking? Like,
Yes.
like mom's hovering, like, for no other reason than just to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, is that not, like, so my follow-on question to that, isn't that even creepier?
Right.
That, like, someone really is
Mm-hmm.
just like, hi.
Well, this has not happened to me, but I have had it happen to, I have heard mediums have this happen to them. Their client will book a 4 p.m. appointment. The family shows up at like 4 a.m. And I was like, where is she? We got so much to talk about. Come on. Like, where is she? She's late again. She's always late again. I know she can't be on time for shit. She was late for my funeral. And the mediums are like, go home.
You're 12 hours early.
They do not mind or care time, because in their world, time doesn't exist.
Brenda's comment cracks me. I was not prepared. I adopt strays, so why not stray spirits?
As long as they'll do the dishes, I'll be happy.
Oh, yeah, like that's the likelihood you're going to get.
Hey, if mom can get a full canner of cabbage canned, prep up, and set on the counter, we can get someone to do the dishes.
Not at the rate you create them.
I know, right? But anyhow, if you ever walk into the kitchen and
a coffee mug, like, I'm sorry, like, if we want to go technical here, this whole, like, being a spirit and interacting with the physical world is a little bit of a struggle.
A
little bit of a struggle. So if you want a clean coffee mug in the morning, maybe. If you want a sink full of dishes, like, you'll be into like 2 afterlives before that sink gets done.
Possibly, depending. So a coffee cup would be like 20 pounds. Yeah.
That would be a lot.
So I need a bodybuilder ghost. Like that's what I need.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I hate when they hide the keys.
Hercules.
Again, do not say a damn thing. If you walk into the kitchen and the dishes are getting washed and put away, just leave Harriet alone.
There you go. All right, that went places. All right, so of course we want to thank Beverly Walker, Mika G, Brenda, Joan Owen, Shannon C, Shannon D, Lady Gwendolyn, Caitlin Bell, Devin, and Bella. If you'd like to learn more about us, the show, or how you too can become a Patreon sponsor and receive all the wonderful benefits our baristas receive, please visit us at pcsbnetwork.com.
Yes.
Before we end the show, you have only a few hours until you get to start wishing our own Aeson Knight a very happy 45th birthday.
Thank you, dear.
You're very welcome.
But also remember that you can now go to aesonknight.com and book for the in-person Psychic Saturday appointments. And we are moving back to Tuesdays at 8 and Fridays at 9 on our shows. So we will see you Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mountain Bears.
We will.
Yay! some things just seem to stick.
And some things have to change.
Yes.
So
Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Dreamer. Thank you, Blue. All right, guys. We will see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Joshua.